Gia, what up, everybody? It's your boy Between the Game Sports. Back, we on Friday today, man. Friday afternoon. It is about 4:40 here in Texas. And got a big game this weekend. Jackson State versus Alabama A&M. As y'all see, I got the stadium in the background. I believe it's the home of South Alabama, if I'm correct. I can't forgot the name of the stadium, but it's something like Lad or something like that. But I appreciate y'all coming through here. Again, Friday afternoon, usually don't get in on this Thursday. It's usually the day that I do this, but for folks who've been following, y'all know basketball season has started for high school. So Texas officially kicks off for boys tonight down in Houston. But the girls have started, so I've been to a couple of games this week. So for folks who have been wondering where I've been, that's where I've been. So here we are, man. Alabama A&M, Coach Maynard versus Jackson State Tigers and Coach Prom. Y'all know they have that little budding rivalry that they have going on where Coach Maynard told Coach Prom no, 2 years ago maybe now, to get him some more 5-star and 4 stars, and he has 5 stars and 4 stars. And then Jackson State come out last year and put a good old fashioned 6-9 beat down on Alabama and I think it was 61-17, 61-19. Again, appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure y'all let yourself be known in the comments. Let yourself be known in the comments. Appreciate y'all hanging with me on this Friday afternoon. It's been cold, man. Cold and raining. I don't know how the weather is going to be out there this weekend, but football's an outside sport, so you got to deal with it, whatever the case may be. For the most part, the most pundits are saying that Jackson State is going to steamroll Alabama A&M. I mean, from what I'm understanding, most folks are saying that Alabama A&M is going to get steamrolled, and I wouldn't be surprised, right? I'll give my predictions on the score later on in the stream. Alabama A&M comes in at 3-6. They're fourth in the SWAC. Not a very good season for them. I'm sure they expected to lose some games, but not be this far under 500. Right? You do lose your all-world quarterback and Mr. Glass from last year, so you expect some drop off there. You really, really do. But I don't think Alabama A&M and Coach Maynard expected to be this bad. Right? I don't think they expected to be this bad. They did get a win. Oh no, I'm actually looking at the wrong team. Actually, I'm sorry. I apologize. No, their last win was over a month ago, pretty much. Tomorrow is the 12th. Their last win was against Arkansas Pine Bluff. And we know Arkansas Pine Bluff, they have not gotten a win in conference play, so that's not something to brag about. And then they barely beat them at 34-31. And then the week before that, they barely beat Grambling, who's struggling for wins, who just got their first win against Arkansas Pine Bluff last week. They beat them at overtime, 37-31. So this is not what Coach Maynard, his coaching staff, and the players on Alabama and the Bulldogs, they did not expect this. I know they didn't. Jonathan Bernard's in the building. What's up, JB? Appreciate you coming through. I know they didn't expect this. If y'all paid attention to Coach Maynard over the past couple of seasons and his coaching style, he has a very, very charismatic way about himself. Not like a Coach Prom or anything like that, but he has it in his own way. He's a very interesting person, in my opinion. I would love to get to meet him and just talk to him. Not even interview him. I mean, I would love to interview him, but just to talk to him and kind of pick his brain a little bit. Dude is an interesting figure, man, in my opinion. And for folks who've heard, he he was the stunt double for Jamie Foxx in any given Sunday. So that right there should tell you a little bit about Coach Maynard. That should tell you a little bit about Coach Maynard. And so the game tomorrow is at 4:00. I'm going to try to do the game. Not sure how long I'll be able to do it. Got to try to figure out a way because we do have something to go to tomorrow for our aunt. So I don't know how I'm if I can, I'm going to put it on and just probably dip out and let y'all enjoy the game. Man, y'all know I just like to do these streams for y'all so y'all can come in here and talk y'all noise. But Back to this game. I'm not a betting person. I cannot find the odds right now. It's not pulling up, but I'm pretty sure Alabama A&M is a heavily underdog. T Money was in the building. What's up, T Money? He said, finally Friday. Yeah. Shit, I've been at the house all day pretty much. I went out this morning, did a little bit of work. Supposed to be renting out my bounce house this weekend, but it's cold. It's raining. Can't move that heavy bounce house on grass when the grass is soggy and all this other stuff. So I don't know if that's going to happen. We shall see. We shall see. So I'm ready for tomorrow. Yeah, man, I am too. I think it's going to be an interesting game for the most part, but again, because of the back and forth that Coach Prime and Coach Maynard have. I didn't see any of the SWAC conference this week, or if there was any news between them, kind of talking about the matchup. Like I said, I've been doing high school basketball. I'm supposed to be going to a high school basketball game tonight. They charging like $18 to get in. I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna go do that, man. $18 for one ticket. That's tough. Tough for high school basketball event for me. But the Bulldogs, right? They have this. I don't even know if it's an issue, but I've said this, and many folks, like myself, like my guy Hoop Jorgen, they go with this 2 quarterback situation type of thing. And then last week, they lost to Mississippi Valley, right? Again, struggling teams. Mississippi Valley didn't win a game until they beat Alabama A&M in conference. They had the guy, I want to say it's Quincy Casey. Let me make sure. Yeah, Quincy Casey. So Quincy Casey is one of the quarterbacks. And then the other quarterback who's gotten most of the reps for the season, I guess you can say, he has more pass attempts, and then Xavier Langford, the junior out of Pelham, Alabama. When you have 2 quarterbacks, for the most part, it shows that the instability that you have that's going on in the program right now. And again, you lose a guy like, Akil Glass, and you're trying to find that replacement. It's tough to do. The dude was all world. He's all conference quarterback, player of the year. I want to say back-to-back. And if I'm wrong, y'all correct me in the comments. I want to say back-to-back player of the year. So that's tough to replace. But when you have 2 quarterbacks getting a lot of playing time, the instability of your team, and it shows, right? You got to find you one guy and get the job done. So they're 3-6 overall in conference. Let me make sure I get the standings right. As we know, Jackson State is 6-0. Alabama A&M is 3-3 in conference. They're basically a game and a half out of being in last place. Like, they lose this game and then they lose next week. And Bethune-Cookman gets high, Mississippi Valley wins high. They'll be tied for last in conference. That's tough. Tough when you were competing with Jackson State and FAMU last year. Again, you lose your guy. And also, if I am correct, they're all-world, all-conference preseason wide receiver. He hasn't played much. He's been hurt. He hasn't played much, and I was looking at his stats earlier. He hasn't played very much. I want to say if he's hurt. He's hurt. If y'all know the answer to that, and y'all know who I'm talking about, Mr. Abdul Ibrahim, and me and my guy, good Lord, I'm drawing a blank, the voice of the SWAC. We did a preview show, Mr. Butch Alcindor. We did a preview show before the season started, and we talked about Mr. Ibrahim and how he's so talented and how he might be having a chance to play on Sunday. For the season, he has 13 catches for 138 yards. That's not what you're expecting. And I want to say he's hurt. And if I'm wrong, y'all correct me in the comments as always. I don't mind being wrong. I really don't mind being wrong. But if you're missing that type of guy, a preseason, all-conference, first-team type of guy, yes, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. And it shows in their points per game average and the offensive output that they're putting out. Alabama A&M is coming in 10th. I'll repeat that. They are in 10th in total scoring for the year in the conference at barely 20 points a game. Just under 21. They're behind Pine Bluff, who's a winless team in the conference. They're behind Florida A&M. They're behind Texas Southern. Bethune-Cookman, who barely wins games. Grambling State averaging 25 points a game, even though they got a lot of that last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff. But Alabama A&M is ranked 10th in total scoring in the offense. Not going to get it done. This shows you why you're 3-6. It shows you why you're 3-6. And the other thing that stood out for me with Alabama A&M, again, I have not seen them, but I can kind of go through the stats, and I've seen a couple of highlights. One of their leading tacklers is a safety. What that tells me is, one, your defensive line play has not been that great. And two, that means your safety is having to come down and make a bunch of plays in the box. That's not a very, very good sign when one of your safeties is one of your leading tacklers. And in my opinion, sometimes stats can be skewed. Stats can really be skewed. And again, appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Please do so. Hit that like button so we get some more people. If you have not, let me know who you are in the comments. Please do so. I don't bite. The fans don't bite. Double T is in the building. And he says defensive line is getting manhandled. Yeah, and that's again, just looking at the stats and understanding the game of football. Again, I've not seen Alabama once this year. I've seen a couple of highlights, peeked in a little bit in there, but not seen a full. Yeah, what am I talking about? Yes, I have. I did the Mississippi Valley game. Yeah, so good Lord, drawing a blank, man. Again, my mind is on basketball, man. My mind is on basketball. So yes, I did that game, and so Mississippi Valley was able to get some things done with their all conference guy and Caleb Johnson. He was preseason all conference, man. I can't believe I'm just blowing it like that. Somebody should have told me to slap myself in the comments. Yeah. So when Mississippi Valley is able to get the running game going and do some things against you, yeah, yeah, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. Yeah, you're coming in at 10, 20 points a game. That's offense is probably for maybe about 12 years ago when you were scoring 21, 28 points a game. You're good. You're happy with that. But not the way today's game is played. So you got to be up in the 28s, 33s, 34, 35s, and 40s. Jackson State is averaging. Still, they haven't dropped under 40 points a game yet this season. If I remember correctly, they're averaging 40.2 points a game. You're getting dubbed, basically, right? If we just want to draw it out on paper and talk about it on paper, you're losing 40-20. if everything falls in line with the way the stats are shaping up with this, you're losing 40-20. And as Double T said, the defensive line is getting manhandled, and it shows in the points per games that they're allowing. They are allowing 34 points a game. Again, that's 10th. They're 10th on offense, 10th in defense, and total scoring. It gives you a 3-6 record. It gives you a 3-3 record in conference. I'm not bashing Alabama A&M because I understand some key players went down. Key players are gone. So you're starting over. You got a new regime. You got new kids. You got kids who got to buy into the program. I understand that. But with the personality and the expectations of the Coach Manor and the Alabama A&M Bulldog fan base, they're not a happy. It's not a happy campus. Not a happy campus. So everything from the totality of things right now, we ain't even got into the nitpicking of things. They're going to get the doors blown off. They're going to get drove. They're going to get drove. And you have Jackson State. We got more and more people coming. Appreciate you coming through. And them quarterbacks are struggling. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I spoke about that. I don't know how long you've been in here, Double T. They have two quarterbacks. And when you have two quarterbacks, for the most part, it doesn't work. We've seen this in the case of UT. Again, I'll speak about UT because I am a Texas native. Grew up watching UT a lot. So they used to have that struggle. They had two quarterbacks. They was kind of going through that last year with, I want to say, Casey Thompson and another guy. Was it Sam Ellinger, who's now the quarterback at for the Colts. I think that was last year or the year before. They were struggling with that. You have two quarterbacks. It doesn't usually work out. They need a DC badly and a wide receivers coach. They need a little bit of everything. They need a little bit of everything. Eric Daly, what's up? Eric Daly listening in from Atlanta, Georgia. Love to watch Travis Hunter at Collin Hills High School. Swanee Lawrenceville, GA, also the alma mater of WM legend. Maya Moore, shout out to Maya Moore, man. I miss seeing her play, man. She's just had game, and y'all, if y'all follow Maya Moore, y'all know what happened to her. She fell in love with a dude, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Southbound 3000's in the building. He said, "Did you make a prediction yet?" Just checking. No, I haven't made it yet. We're just kind of going through the ins and outs, and basically what Alabama A&M needs, and what they is. And for me, I've been giving teams the same recipe for about 5 weeks now on how to beat Jackson State, and it's tough. The recipe is simple, right? It's very, very simple. But Jackson State is just so good. Even that recipe doesn't seem to work out. And Texas Southern kind of almost followed through with that game plan. Texas Southern almost followed through with that game plan. And I'm going to give Alabama A&M the same game plan. One, go into the game with the mindset of playing one quarterback. Let them get into a rhythm. Just going in and back and forth, switching out quarterbacks is tough. And then that quarterback has to be on his A+++ game, right? But it's just so difficult with the way Jackson State's defense is with their defensive line play, with their linebacker play in Aubrey Miller. And now it's Gaddy on the end. And I'm missing all types of guys, right? Missing all types of dudes. And those two guys are causing so much disruption that it's allowing other guys to get their shine on. And that's what you do when you're a big-time player. When you're a big-time player, you cause so much disruption and attention that it allows other guys to get off. That's why the Aaron Donalds of the world are important. That's why the TJ Watts of the Pittsburgh Steelers, those type of guys are important, because when you're that dominant, you allow other guys to have a good season. Speaking of, I can throw this guy in, Micah Parsons, which lately I've been getting, the look-alike thing. I'm much older than that young man. But Micah Parsons, just think about the effect that he has with the Dallas Cowboys defense. Is allowing their interior linemen to have good seasons. It's allowed DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he's not as dominant as he used to be, he's still serviceable. Still serviceable. So, when you have the likes of an Aubrey Miller, who I said was going to win preseason defensive player of the year. I mean, defensive player of the year in the preseason, which I don't think he might not get it. I think the guy from Mississippi Valley might get that. But he'll definitely finish first team all conference. I don't know how Alabama A&M is that bad in 2 seasons, man. You have. Again, they lost their main guy, right? They lost their main guy. You lose your all-world guy, and it's tough. It's tough. Mr. Glass was tremendous SWAC quarterback. I give Alabama A&M their props for having the toughest schedule in the SWAC, though. Yeah. And this is what, and Double T, you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about the out of conference schedule. Yes, it's great to have it. It's great to tell your players, oh, we're going to go play such and such. We're going to go get this guaranteed money game here and there. But when you're taking those L's, and this is what Coach Promise talked about, when you're taking those L's, it's demoralizing on your team sometimes. Sometimes that non-guaranteed game, that guaranteed game for those other teams, it hurts. It puts a damper on your season. And this is what Coach Promise was talking about with this team, why the schedule that he has is not, as good as a lot of folks would, want them to have with the team that he has and the dominance that he's had in the SWAC the last couple of years. But those games right there, man, it's tough. They play UAB at UAB 59-0. Opening the season, you lose 59-0. They played Troy, lost that 38-17. Then they play Austin P at home, lost that 28-3. So I understand that, right? Sometimes see what in the basketball world, this is what Texas Southern does. Texas Southern plays like, for the last couple of years, they would play like 6 or 7 high ranked opponents, get their butt kicked, and conference play. They're finding their way, this and that. This is why Texas Southern's been good. Again, Texas Southern is picked to win SWAC in men's basketball. If I do remember, I did see that Prairie A&M beat somebody the other day. So they're on the road. All my Jackson State folks, man. There's not many Jackson State men's basketball games on TV. I want to say it's like 2 or 3. So might not be on as much for basketball, but I'm just gonna do some SWAC games as well. So y'all make sure y'all just come in and tune in and support the SWAC programs, many games I can. Jackson State women's played the other day, but I did an interview with my guy Doug Jones about high school basketball. But back to this game. Republican Randy says AB to Jackson State wide receiver coach. No way. If Antonio Brown became a head coach, I would need an incentive or something. I would need something to say that I probably won't ever do again. If Antonio Brown became a coach, not even a head coach, if he became a coach, what would I stop doing? I don't know. I got to think about that. But no, Antonio Brown, not with, way Coach Prime is winning this program with no distractions. All the attention that he's tried to bring to that program is all positivity. So Antonio Brown, no. Mario, what's up, Mario? Appreciate you coming through. Showing love. I think Mario is a Pine Bluff guy, but he comes through and show love. You're supposed to have a pipeline when one player leaves or goes down, the next player steps up. Yes, that is the game plan. It sounds simple. But a lot of teams, a lot of coaches, it just doesn't work out that way, man. And you talk about it. The next man up theory is great, but it's not the same, especially with Mr. Glass. He was the conference player of the year, if I remember correctly. That's not easy to replace. Jackson State just has the luxury of having so much time. They was able to replace, what James Houston did. They're not that one individual person that James Houston had, a dominant year, tackles, sacks, and all that other stuff. But they were able to plug that and fill that spot up. And again, I appreciate, the folks that are coming in a little late. Again, it's 5 o'clock here in Texas. Might be, 6 or 7 o'clock in Mississippi or something like that. I can't remember if y'all on the same time as we are. If you're on the East Coast, you're definitely ahead. So I appreciate y'all coming through on a Friday. You can be out at the bar or something. Eric Daly says Coach Prime is carrying on the legacy of Emmett Till, Money, Mississippi, and Medgar Evers, Jackson, Mississippi. Eric Daly, Atlanta, Georgia. Appreciate you coming through. And Double T said, I think Manor thought his team was progressing. That's why he leveled up their schedule. Yeah. Again, if I'm correct, their all-conference receiver has been hurt, and Mr. Ibrahim. And y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. They leveled up the schedule with the intent of having a chance to get at a large playoff bid if they were runner-up in the SWAC. That's progressive thinking. But again, you start the season off 59-0 against Alabama Birmingham. Pretty much downhill from there. But back to the recipe, defensive player versus a quarterback is different. Yes, very different. Arkansas playing LSU tomorrow. Arkansas probably gonna get drove. Arkansas lose to the other day. Ezra Kelly, what's up, Ezra? Appreciate you coming through. Say Alabama State in the house. And Corner World replace the coach and the QB. HBCU have to be able to keep a pipeline if they want to play big boy ball. Easier said than done sometimes. Sharon Brooks, what's up, Sharon? Y'all hit that like button. She says, yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And Amorian says Liberty, yeah. Lost to Liberty, yeah. FAMU started off the same way. And in the mix of the at large. FAMU might have a chance. They might have a chance. But yeah, back to my recipe that teams are trying to follow, and it's simple. Any nerd, any sports enthusiast of football, they can give this opinion. But quarterback has to play stellar. But again, with that pressure, it's tough. Offensive line has to be. I don't want to say great. Be good. They have to be good. And then when I say by good, no stupid penalties. No penalties where you're having false starts. When you have 4 or 5 false starts throughout the game. Not a recipe for success. Your running back has to get off a little bit, right? And when I say get off, you got to get 4 or 5 yards here and there almost every time you touch the ball. The first time you touch the ball, right? You're gonna have a couple of runs where you're only get maybe 2 yards, but you can't have more tackles for loss than you do gains, right? And again, this is simple. This is football coaching 1-on-1, but it still holds true. And then on the defensive side of things, can you have enough discipline and understanding of what Shedeur wants to do with his wide receivers? And I was wrong with my kind of assessment of the Jackson State offensive game plan. And I did a video about the wide receivers this year, and I was calling them the Blue Flame. And I totally forgot that nickname, right, that I gave them, the Blue Flame. I thought they were going to be a little more explosive. Didn't count Malachi Wyman having the issues out in a bit, and then I said that with that news kind of happening with Malachi, Shedeur was going to have to find a go-to receiver, and I was completely wrong about that. And I guess his go-to receiver is Dallas Daniels, and I want to say go-to more like his security blanket, kind of like what Tom Brady had with Gronk or Wes Welker. If I want to make a comparison there. But overall, he just spreads the ball out. He takes what the defense gives him. He just spreads the ball out. Shane Hooks, I believe, leads the team in touchdown catches, but he just spreads the ball out across the board. And so that makes it difficult. It makes it difficult. And the opposing teams, the defensive coordinator and the DBs and things like that, it makes it difficult out what's happening. And I'm sorry, Dallas Daniels leads the team in touchdown catches, if I am correct. Maybe not. No, Shane Hooks leads the teams and leads the team in touchdown catches. He has 7. Dallas Daniels has 6. So good production from the wide receiver position. And Dallas Daniels didn't even play in the Texas Southern game. And folks said that he was hurt. And if y'all know, if he's back this week, let us know. Willie Gaines has 4 touchdown receptions. So he's just spreading the ball out and about. DJ Stevens got a touchdown reception last week against Texas Southern. That's, with 2. Y'all subscribe, hit that like button. Get back to some of the comments. It's very hard to replace top players. That's what separates top teams. Yes, it does. UAB playing Panthers tomorrow. Amorian says. And JJ is going to get that on campus stadium. Yeah, I mean, I kind of caught some news about that, Coach Prime, doubling down on with the mayor saying, put aside the differences and stuff like that. Again, I've been out of the loop this week. High school basketball takes over my life. Basketball is my first love. It's always gonna be my first love, and it's hard. It's hard once it starts, man. I'm full go with it. So I've been out the loop. As y'all can see, I ain't put anything out this week. Wasn't even gonna do this today. Probably gonna do this in the morning, but I'm supposed to go set up my bounce house for a client tomorrow. You'll be playing the Panthers tomorrow, SWAC showdown. Didn't UAB lose to Delta State? Yeah. Yeah, man. Pine Bluff needs a win, man. Pine Bluff needs a win. They need a win. And it just so happens that, Prairie View just got lucky last week. They ended up losing to who did Prairie View lose to last week? Alcorn, right? And then all the Southern folks were in there. It was like, man, they cheered for Alcorn, this and that. And I'm saying Southern fans, y'all need to make sure y'all go take care of y'all business with FAMU. And they were rooting for Texas Southern to beat Jackson State. Jackson State to beat Texas Southern right there. So, Prairie View loses a game and they're still able to stay in the first place. Just look at the draw. And here we are again. Prairie View has to go and beat Pine Bluff, which more than likely will happen. Amaria, and I hope y'all get a win, man. I hope y'all get a win. Hope y'all get a win. Excuse me, JSU can lose a receiver. They have a problem. Yeah, man. They're just deep. They're deep. Cordarius Davis can barely get on the field, and this guy was highly recruited out of Dallas Skyline. Can barely get on the field. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And if y'all like what we do over here, y'all can hit the Cash App, Super Chat, Super Thanks, Super Sticker, whatever the case may be. If you hit the Super Sticker with a question, Super Chat, your question will be answered first. But Cordarius Davis, Quake, what they call him, he can barely get on the field. And this highly recruited kid, I think he was red-shirted last year. So, and then Malachi Wyman, he led the team in touchdown receptions last year. Cannot get on the field. And, that type of stuff kind of, that it can drive a kid crazy because, like, you're saying, hey, coach, man, you said all I had to do was this and that and whatever. And it drives kids these days to transfer. And I hope not. But we just got to be realistic with yourselves about, certain things. We're in the age of the transfer portal. And the transfer portal allows kids to play right away. Now, with Wyman, it's been his grade. So he is his biggest downfall. Eric Daly says, imagine 2023 Coach Prime hires one Emmitt Smith running back to Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, T.O. I don't think that'll ever work. Too many personalities, right? Too many big personalities. Emmitt Smith, maybe. I think I can see Emmitt Smith in there. Emmitt Smith has a kid in high school, I believe. So he's dealing with that. Ray Lewis, too big of a personality, right? Michael Irvin, it's just Irv. I don't know. I think T.O. is not the coaching type of a person. I think he's more of a T.O. might be more of a trainer if he ever gets into that, in my opinion. Might be more of a trainer. Michael Vick, maybe. America's Pastor Travis, appreciate you coming through. Yeah, smash that like button. Here we go. Smash that like button. Think they will be at 6,000 subscribers by the end of tomorrow. Let's make sure we invite others to the party tomorrow. Election hangover, long week, need this game. Yeah, appreciate you sharing. Yeah, let's get to 6,000. We are mid-November. Basically. The goal is to get to 7,000. My guy King Los, he's not here right now. He said 10,000. I said 10,000 was a stretch. Because people get what do you call it? They get YouTube fatigue, right? Where they get tired of hearing a certain streamer or YouTuber or this and that. Like, I gain and lose subscribers almost every single day, but you can't worry about it. You keep moving, you keep rocking and rolling. It is what it is. But yeah, hopefully 6,000. Hopefully we make it to 7,000. So we got a month and a half basically to make it by December 31st. And I hope y'all saw the post. We do have two families, right? We have two families that we're going to sponsor this Christmas. I hope y'all saw the post. Y'all can email us to find out. Two families, one family at a school I used to work with back at home, and then Linda Jones nominated a family. So we have at least two families. We might cut it off right there and to support these two families out here. No receiving JSU is better than Wyman. Wyman is his own worst enemy. I think he is super talented. He can give you. He might not be the best route runner. I think Dallas Daniels might be the best route runner on the team. But you can throw Wyman in there. I think he's definitely your best vertical threat, and I mean by the ability to get down the field and going up to get the ball. Shane Hooks is a big receiver, but I don't think his verticality verticality is as good as Wyman. Okay, I read that. The SWAC West is weak. ASU is third in the East, but has a better record than Alabama State. This is why I said Ezra. Uh, Maybe they decide to go into the best. You know, taking the top two teams from the total conference and not have divisions. Maybe they might think about that. If Prairie View, if their quarterback Trayshawn Connolly gets a little better, because the run game we know for sure is good. We know that their run game and he can run the ball. And Double T and Miak Mike and others are saying that how our HBCUs need to get better with quarterback play overall. But if Trayshawn Connolly can get more accurate, if he can get more accurate, Prairie View could be a dangerous team. And folks saying they're facade, I just think he needs to get a little better, man. And I'm not downing the kid. I'm not downing the kid at all. I want to see him be successful, but he has to get better. And I think a lot of athletes, especially pros, they don't really understand it. When folks are telling you like you got to get better, it's not downing and talking and hating on them, because especially in the NBA world, which I watch more than anything, these mad when fans are like, man, get better, work on this and that. Like, well, I made it to where you never even thought of it. Yeah, man, every player that stepped on the NBA court has made it to anything I went further than, right? I had a chance to go play overseas, but by the end, I was done trying to prove people, wrong with me being the size that I am, that I could play the game of basketball. But I played against some pros and I held my own, right? I've held my own plenty of times. But when folks just say get better, man, they're actually rooting for you. They're not hating on you. And Royal Ferguson, appreciate you coming through. Who do you think JSU will be playing for the Celebration Bowl? I want to say North Carolina Central. I want to say that'd probably be their best test. I know Howard was in first place, but they got drove, I want to say, by Central last week. And Howard would get drove by Jackson State. So Central might be their best competition. And Double T says TL definitely can be a trainer, 46 runner. Yeah, still running 45. 4-5. Yeah, I think he's more of a trainer. I don't think he's more of a coach. And I could be wrong, man. We never know. We never know. And as Charles Adderley says, good evening, watching from the Bahamas, outstanding stream. Appreciate you, Charles. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you tell the folks out there in the Bahamas to check out BTGS, man. This is what we do. I try to put out good content for every single time I get on here. Every single time. But back to what I was saying about A&M's defense. Got to create some turnovers, right? Easier said than done, because Jackson State really just doesn't have an issue with turnovers. Shedeur does have 5 interceptions. That was some boneheaded plays that he had against Bethune-Cookman. But Santee Marshall has fumbled the ball, but we haven't seen much of him because of that. And the other running back, I cannot think of his name, has not seen much action too. And so, that's tough to do, to create the turnovers with Jackson State, because they just take care of the ball. They just really take care of the ball. They win the turnover battle for the most part. Even when they don't win the turnover battle, their defense is just that good. But for A&M, if you can create 3 turnovers and maybe possible, not just get the turnover, turn that turnover into 6 points. I mean 6 points, not by the offense. I mean a pick 6, right? I mean a fumble return. Or we know that Jackson State is real suspect. As some dude came on my show Sunday morning, or after the show I did Sunday morning, and was like, man, not to be rude or no disrespect, but this is something that we all know, Jackson State's punt return. I'm like, bro, like that's unnecessary comment. I just said, oh, okay. And when I'm saying this kind of stuff, it's for the fans who may not understand football like that, who may not understand the intricacies of football like that, of sports. So when folks try to be a smart butt about things, I just really give them no attention with that, man. Like, of course, if you know, okay, so well. Wayne Morgan said, I just got a news flash. Nets released Kyrie Irving just now. Did you see that? Oh, no, I did not see that. I thought they did that yesterday. Shout out to Ezra Kelly with the Cash App donation. Appreciate you. Ezra, I ain't got my sound effects on, so I'm not. But appreciate that, Ezra. Much love and respect to you as always. Always hits the Cash App. So yeah, y'all want to hit the Cash App? You can't. Kyrie Irving, man, that situation is crazy. It's crazy. Hopefully, they can figure it out. I this country is supposed to be about freedom of speech and things like that, but it is what it is. Wayne Morgan said, "Be careful, you type MEAC in capital 3 times, Mike comes in screaming, yeah, boy, like the Candyman. Like the Candyman, Celebration Bowl is dead, MEAC done in 2 years. Wayne Morgan hate that it's a monopoly with sports, NBA, NFL can dictate a person's career. Yeah. It's crazy. SWAC going to have to go back to participating in the playoffs. Maybe that'll be interesting to see. Like, you take this show on the road, right? And it is a show. It is a show because they sell out everywhere they go. Everybody wants to see Jackson State. Everybody wants to. The interview I did with my guy Doug Jones yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw that. No, Wednesday. I don't know if y'all saw that. Right? We didn't have too many people come in. Wasn't expect that. Most of y'all are Jackson State fans and stuff like that, so I get it. But he was at that Jackson State Texas Southern game. He said, "Man, it was like the Beatles came into the town." He said it was like the Beatles came into town. Like Coach Prime came out, stadium went crazy, and then Scarface. If y'all don't know who Scarface is big Houston legend. Rapper wise, he came out, crowd went crazy. He said it was just electrifying. So this is a show. That put that show on the road in the playoffs, man. Ooh-wee. So, if A&M can create some turnovers and on the punt return, because Willie Gaines has fumbled, Kevin Coleman has fumbled, all these guys have fumbled trying to catch the ball, get that and take it into the house and get a touchdown. Right? That's a method of success. If you can create that type of pressure on the punt returns, cause them to fumble, take that, pick that up, and get a touchdown. Texas Southern had an opportunity. Again, y'all hit that like button for me. And what can I say about Jackson State? I've been pretty much speaking about Alabama A&M this whole time, but Jackson State, they just need to play their game. It ain't much to discuss with Jackson State. We know what they got. We know who they are. And I guess the biggest surprise we can say is the evolution of Savion Wilkerson. I mean, this dude is an absolute monster. As Coach Prime said, I think he said, man, that dude's a dog. And, my guy Hoop Jargon did a great video about him and his comparison to Walter Payton. He's walking that same campus, that same halls, and he's getting the attention. And so now you can't just focus on what Shedeur is doing in the passing game. You can't just focus on that. This dude, Savion Wilkerson, more than likely will be newcomer of the year. Had 214 something yards against Texas Southern last week. Excuse me. This guy's evolution and the evolution of the offensive line, they are firing off the ball. They're hitting that guy in front of them. Then they're getting to the second level. And if that's not happening, and I've said it in the past couple of streams, I think I've seen Savion Wilkerson go down on first contact maybe once or twice. I think I've seen him tackle for a loss maybe once or twice. Wayne Morgan says, bro, you got these A&M kids wanting to come to JSU now. And somebody said last night on another show, 2 of the Oregon kids want to come now. It's a show. It's the best thing smoking. It's the hottest ticket in the land. It's the hottest ticket in the land. And again, if I can compare it to anything right now, they are. I remember when LeBron went to Miami, and that first year it was like impossible to get a ticket. Impossible to get a ticket. Like it, man. Smash that like button. Yeah, man, let's get it to 100 before we get out of here. Smash that like button. I don't even know if my. Okay, man. Ooh, we almost had a mishap right here. I ain't even had my laptop plugged up. It's about to die. It was about to die. Ezra says the SWAC has so many classic games that block teams from participating in the playoffs. Turkey Day Classic and the Bayou Classic. Yeah, man, those classics are tough. The classics are tough to get rid of. That's why Coach Brown didn't. He's getting rid of the Southern Heritage Classic. Southern Heritage Classic. So it's up. It's up. They'll figure that out one day. North Carolina A&T second string has more yards than Wilkerson, and then and that's because of the touches, right? The attempts. If Savion did not start the first 2 games of the season, maybe the first 3 games of the season, I don't know if he started, but he is now a full-time starter. But he doesn't get the touches that probably other running backs probably get. But yeah, that's an interesting stat, man. Interesting stat. But this dude is beastly, man. He's beastly. Last game might have been his first time or second time over 20 rushes a game. In a game. Might have been. As Miak Mike said, what up, Miak? Said the Miak may be on a respirator, but we ain't dying no time soon. Like Jay said, you came to see us sink like the Titanic, but we will rise like the Phoenix. Yeah. I'm whoever Jackson State plays, and I say Jackson State because it has not. Nobody in the SWAC has shown that they can beat them in the last year and a half. Let's go. Let's basically say 2 years. Like it's a couple of games left in this season. So basically 2 years, nobody has been able to figure out the Jackson State problem. And they are a problem. And you add this addition of Wilkerson in the offensive line and what they're doing on the ground game, it's pick your poison. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. And I go to the team stats as far as they're number 1 in the conference in passing at 307 yards a game. And running, they're creeping up. They're number 4 at 173 yards a game. So you just, it's not enough talent. It's not enough schemes you can do that can put you ahead of this team right now in the SWAC. And I say in the SWAC because, again, they lost the Celebration Bowl last year against Coach Buddy and South Carolina State. But right now in the SWAC, they're the cream of the crop. They're the apex. They're Mount Olympus right now. Whatever you want to call the Jackson State Tigers, Coach Prime, Shedeur, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Aubrey Miller, Niles Gaddy, Dallas Daniels, Shane Hooks. Wilkerson, Willie Gaines. I'm just going crazy. And we're not even talking about the guys who've been hurt. Antonio Doyle has been hurt a lot. Warren Nugget has been hurt a lot. Shiloh was hurt earlier this year. Travis Hunter has been hurt. And we see him starting to figure it out. We see him starting to get back healthy. And I keep saying how special this kid is. You can see it. He's special. He has a talent that a lot of kids his age will never have. And I don't want to say generational talent because, that word gets thrown around way, way too much. And it's just like in the basketball world. Like, nothing drives me more crazy when I see folks to my elite ball handling drills, because I'm a basketball trainer. Elite ball handling drills or elite shooting. And I'm like, oh, some of these drills have been going on since the beginning of time. What in the H are y'all talking about? That it just drives me crazy. So the generational talent word I don't really throw out a lot like that. JSU, playing daddy ball. Wilkerson should average 20 carries a game. Yeah, man, Double T, you know what it is, man. You know how hard it is for somebody to coach their child and not make them a future person, right? You know how hard that is, man. And as much as anybody wants to say it, it's you're gonna show your child a little favoritism, just a little bit. And I think Coach Prime has found uh, a good place between them. And again, him and his sons have been doing this for years, so it's not like it's something new they're trying to figure out. I don't know if y'all seen that interview with Jason Tatum, and he is talking about his father and how he thought his father didn't like him growing up because the only thing they did was go basketball training and games. That's it. He said they didn't go fishing or go to the movies or amusement parks or something like that. So that's a hard relationship to figure out. But you know, like my father coached me, and he showed me a little favoritism like growing up. But he did get on my butt too. I've told this story before on this channel. He sat me down in a very, very important AAU game, going into my senior year. Like, he sat me down for about 8 or 9 minutes. Sat me down. We're at 90. So y'all make sure I hit that like button. If you're on Facebook, make sure you're hitting that the like button, care button, heart button, all that good stuff. Share this stream. Share it. I'm gonna get ready to put this stream up for anybody who wants to join in and kind of give their thoughts as I'm almost done with my little soliloquy right here. But yeah, man, Jackson State is crazy. People in MEAC already knew Wilkerson was nice in our conference. That's the typical back that carries the ball 25 times a game. He is MEAC made. Yeah, it might have been MEAC made, but he is definitely now. Carolina team in the playoffs versus the other schools would be crazy. Vale says, "Thank." What up, Vale? Vale's in the building. Yeah, man. If y'all want to become a member to this channel, very, very easy. Lowest membership is $1.99. Y'all can do that. We have MEAC Mike has been a member for almost a month. Wayne Morgan has been a member for almost a month. I know we got others. They might not be here right now. That's a lot of. JWC LLC says North Carolina A&T second string is in the game because the result is determined. Wilkerson is operating from first snap. Yeah, and he wasn't a starter at the beginning of the year. I got the bad end of the trade. I got Odoms and SWAC got Wilkerson. Bill, what's up, my guy? Appreciate that 12 matrix move. What you talking about? Howard does not want to be in the MEAC. They have been trying to lead the MEAC for years, Ezra says. And Vale, Delaware State head football coach, and Eddie Robinson from Alabama State is going to jump Coach Prime. Both coaches can't stand. Hey, man, look. And Coach Prime told you, man, like, there's a lot of folks who don't like him, right? And apparently there's some folks who don't like me in this YouTube world, which is, I ain't did nothing to nobody, but it is what it is. What's up, CD? CD's in the building. What's good, my brother? What's good? Eric Daly says Magic Coach Prime at next year's JS homecoming, inviting Zeke and the user versus Soul Circus to the outside. That'd be crazy. I like your scenarios, Eric. I like your scenarios. I know Eddie and Dooley don't like Coach Prime. You can throw Maynard in there too. And I think that it's a I don't want to say hate, but it's a competitive back and forth. Almost loaded the gun. Thought that was on them. Oh man, do blacks in Mississippi head coach Prime more than Brett Favre says Mississippi isn't saying anything about this second wealth. Oh man, nobody's talking about the welfare stuff, man. They talked about they made Kyrie a villain. They made him a criminal. I want to say a villain. All right, they made Kyrie a criminal, right? And because I don't want to get into all that, man. Whatever folks believe, they want to talk about that. That's fine. If he wanted to talk about that, that's fine. Ain't got nothing to do with me on this channel. But Brett Favre has basically admitted that he stole from people. Stealing is a crime. It don't matter if you steal a nickel. It don't matter if you steal a piece of candy out the bowl. When you say you take something that doesn't belong to you, it is stealing. Coach Dooley sucks. He needs to ask Coach Prime for a grad assistant job so that he can learn. He's probably the most overrated guy I've seen in the last 15 years. Why? Ooh, wow. And why are black media platforms spreading false rumors about Nebraska and Coach Prime knowing it's not real? Man, y'all know it's gonna come. Y'all know it's gonna come. And I saw that in American Pastor Travis says he's out. Appreciate you coming through, my guy. And Brian Johnson says, what's up? Got you late today. Yeah, man, you good. You good. Appreciate you coming through. As we just had somebody like something on Facebook, man. B Diane, appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Where was I? But y'all know those rumors through. Y'all know this is what they do. And then this being in this realm and the spectrum now, I understand it a little more. But I always kind of just sat back and watch and been baffled about why folks refuse to talk about good things happening, right? Folks, for the most part, refuse to talk about good things, right? And the issue is because bad news is entertaining. I'll throw myself in there. We enjoy bad things, and that's weird, right? This is why folks, and I'll put the comparison to this: when there's a wreck, right? When there's a wreck, and folks are like rubbernecking, and you're sitting in the car like, man, why don't y'all just drive? Man? It's just a wreck. But for the most part, and I try to focus myself because I'm that dude, like, man, just drive. So I'm trying to focus and not turn my head to that certain wreck or whatever. But people like seeing bad things, right? This is why horror movies are so great and things like that, because people hate to be scared, but they love to watch it. Like it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But that's why I try to stay away from that type of stuff. When stories come out, for the most part, and if it's in a negative fashion, I'm either going to report about it and try to put a spin on positivity on it, or I'm just going to leave it alone altogether. Odom don't care. He got that big check and he's laying back eating crab cakes and good seafood. Man, seafood sounds really, really good, actually. T112 with his matrix move on the sideline was, oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. He's electrifying. Go ahead and add Howard and Tennessee State. Tennessee State to the SWAC. That means North Carolina second string number should have less than Wilkerson. North Carolina first string numbers is ridiculous. Bell says sick of welfare scandal. King Lowe's, what's up, man? I was just talking about you. Yes, blacks in the SIP talking about Brett Favre and it's shameful. Yeah, man, the dude just stealing. He out there stealing, and nothing has been talked about. Chauncey Harris, Nacy New, and her son Zach stole the money, gave it to Brett and others. I was a teacher at her school. School shut down. Woo! Appreciate you, Chauncey, for that information. So it's a Ponzi scheme, right? He's guilty by association. That's just like being in the car and some cop asks, the driver, is this and that. So if nobody admits to it, everybody got to go down. Deion Jr. posted a video showing Coach Sanders addressing the team, saying that him going to the Huskers is not true, and he hasn't talked to anyone in Nebraska. Yeah, man, I think Coach Prime and Coach Deion, I think he's very transparent of what his intentions are. Even with the fact that folks say he's a shrewd dude, he moves, I think he's been transparent. I think he really does it's fun to do bad things driving in the cars, Letarian Milton. I don't know that. Great and extraordinary things don't happen as often. When great things happen, they draw more. Strongest Man is extraordinary shows that draws huge attention, for example. Gotcha. You have to confront JSU like you are the big bad bully on the block, or they will stump you out. You have to go in there with like a mindset like, okay, it's us against the world. This is what Coach Buddy did last year. He kept his team in the locker room, kept them away from the distractions. And let's be honest, Jackson State gave South Carolina State a little leg up because of their inability to kick a field goal last year. Their non-trust that they had in their place kicker last year. So they went for it early in the game, which I think twice, which cost them a bunch of field position, a bunch of points. And I'm sitting here doing the game and I'm watching. I'm like, take the points. But, I understood because their place kicker wasn't great. Now they got Automala over there. Different story. 98 million was stolen. Yeah, this is pitiful. Pitiful. Eric Daly says, I don't think Coach Brown will leave for a Power 5 for at least the next 4 years. His daughter's a freshman basketball player. Yeah, so I've been saying that. I've been saying that since day one, and I haven't changed. I said 6 to 7 years. 6 to 7 years is where I was at with this thing. The Brett Favre situation is nothing. It's not being publicized in the same manner because the white media doesn't go as hard as black media. Yeah, man. We are not stupid. We know what's happening. It's just the point. It's been happening for a long time, and just now a lot of more folks, because of social media, because of Facebook, because of Twitter, because of YouTube, more folks are speaking up about it and giving their piece about this stuff, man. And it, only thing you can do is kind of talk about it again. If you are on Facebook, make sure you're hitting that like button. Hit that like button. If you are on Twitch, hit that like button too. Make sure y'all do that for your boy. Get us rocking and rolling. We are just at, let's get it to 100. Let's get it to 100, folks, right? Let's get it to 100. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe. If you like what we do, y'all make sure y'all hit the Cash App. All that good stuff, you can hit the Cash App. Or you can hit the Super Chat, Super Thanks, anything like that. That's the Cash App tag right there if you want to hit it anytime. Donations are always welcome. We will be live tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know how long I'll be on. I got to figure out a way to kind of keep my computer on, my laptop on while I leave, because most of the game tomorrow is just going to be y'all, right? It's just going to be y'all. Got a busy day. Got a busy day. Let's say, no, don't do that, Jay. She didn't give anything to South Carolina State. His back. Yeah, man, and he got hot. I'm not saying he got hot. Him and Shaq Davis, they got hot. But those not putting points on the board cost Jackson State, some time, some scores. And what did South Carolina State do? They capitalized on their mistakes. It's plain and simple. Nothing wrong with that, WT. I get it. I'm just stating the obvious. And you saw the game. Jackson State wasn't taking those 2 field goals attempt early. They went forward, and State made them pay. Salute to Coach Brown for letting Bethune-Cookman use their practice facilities, SWAC unity. Yes, and man, Bethune-Cookman has been off the rails all year, right? They've been off the rails all year. Dealing with a hurricane, 2 hurricanes. One a hurricane for sure, and then this other one is a tropical storm, as we got Brian coming to. What's up, Brady?
What's up, my brother? What's up? I just, I don't want to rehash everything that you probably already said, but you know what? I'm a kind of person, I feel a certain way. I got to let it off. I don't keep things in.
Go ahead.
And with the Kyrie situation is this. In my opinion, this is what I'm harmlessing, and I lived through a lot. I remember I'm 62 years old. My dad worked on the railway when he went to Washington, D.C., you know what I mean? He ordered a hamburger one time, and they said a hamburger to go, and he said, no, I want to eat it here. And so all the blacks brought him in the back, and they let him eat with them. But in saying all that, Kyrie posted a video. No caption, no opinion, nothing. So they ask him about it. He says, I have nothing against any race, any religion. I don't hate anybody. And they asked him, well, you're anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. How could I be anti-Semite when I know where I came from? That's what he said. So we have our own, the crabs in the barrel mentality. Guys that made lots of money are condoning this guy, calling him an idiot, calling him stupid, calling him this, calling him immature, putting lots of hate on him. I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan per se. You know what I mean? As a ball player, he's a great ball player. You know what I mean? He says some outlandish things, like the earth is flat. If he wants to believe that, that is fine. But the thing is that I'm saying, why are you trying to crucify and also now buck breaking this guy to make him apologize? And you got to follow these steps. That makes me so irate. When the guy for the Philadelphia Eagles, was at a concert and said, "Nigga, did he have to go to see the NAACP?"
Riley Cooper,
Riley Cooper. You
remember
know,
that.
when so see it's not a problem as blacks, African Americans, Afrocentric. We are so apologetic. We'll give anybody grace, but when it comes to us, we don't. It's not reciprocal. Now the ADL, the Jewish people, how are they treating Ethiopians, the Ethiopians, Jews in Israel? So we can go real deep and dive in that. I'm not going to get into that because it
Right.
is a sports show and you have great content. But I got to always keep things a buck, and I just don't like what's going on. And for the other players, the National Basketball Association, Players Association, where were they in all this? Because if they're going to do it to one, this is all they're doing is opening up a precedent, a can of
Yep.
worms, a Pandora's box. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
So and you have an owner that supports the Communist Party in China for the genocide of Muslims in that country, and a lot of them are put in concentration camps. Nobody says anything about that. But here you want to strip this guy, put him in front of like a public lynching. This is what it seems to. And then now you have a lot of them backtracking. You know what I mean? Jay Williams is the only one that I said that stood up. You know what I mean? And said, listen, what's from the get go? And you have Molly Curran on ESPN saying, well, it's quoted from him. He didn't say anything of the book. He didn't say anything. All he said, he didn't say anything. Shaq showed it in his movie theater and calling Kyrie an idiot. But we don't hear nothing about that. Then you have
Molly.
Charles Barkley. Anyways, sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I just went on. I just went on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Well, man. Sometimes you just gotta go on them tangents, man. Sometimes you gotta go on a tangent and let it out.
Besides that, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Good. So yeah, we've just been talking about these Tigers and these Bulldogs. Again, I have not given my prediction, but man, folks who follow me, y'all know where I'm probably going with this thing. And hey, Yo says Corey Fields is Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, man, he's very Jekyll and Hyde. Very, very Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, Mike is saying that great games on the night. Michigan State versus Gonzaga. Yeah, I guess, man. Gonzaga are always going to win a bunch of games and then somehow find a way to blow it. I think Drew Timme is still there, and I think this is like his 18th season at Gonzaga. Just been there forever. I think he's from the Dallas area, actually. Wayne Morgan said last year, JSU couldn't run the ball, had no kicker. We both. With both of those emphasized. Now, bring anybody you want to the CBU. Yeah, I think Jackson State is probably having an undefeated season. Yeah, I have to make them pay when they make turnovers. Yes, you do. Coach Brown stays 5 years like the Jamaicans in New York State. It will be. Oh my God! And Double T is agreeing with you with the buck breaking. Ooh man, y'all been going hard in the comments. This Hoop Jargon has joined in. What's up? Appreciate you. Where are you located, man? I'm in Texas, Houston native, but I am living in Plano, which is about 3:45 from Houston. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And Jay-Z part on the Nets. I ain't heard Joe Kimmel say. I don't know. Jay-Z still owns part of.
No, I think he sold this part. I think he sold it years ago.
Yeah, I think he sold it. And AP says you're right between the game. Anyone that knows football understands that in this order, JSU kicking game like a running game, OL, for the reason they lost to South Carolina. Yeah, absolutely. Hope Jargon's in the building. What up, man?
What up, man? I saw you
word?
live. I got off work early today, so I had to hop in, man. See my boy B in the building.
How you doing, Hope? Hey, man. Didn't you say LeBron was going to break down?
Hey, Brian, I look like Negro Damas.
I tell you, brother.
Oh, man.
Everybody told me, me and between the game was tripping about our assessment about the Lakers, but we looking like some prophets right now.
Them boys is pitiful, man. Pitiful.
Capital P.
Pitiful. Oh my God, man.
No,
oh my God.
They're horrible and awful. They're awful.
Shout out to TTO in the building, man.
Yeah, they, the usuals are in here. We've been having a good talk. I just, basically it's more been about what Alabama A&M can possibly do to try to win this game. And I just don't think
only way Alabama can win this game if Jackson State don't show up. They don't leave the hotel. That's the only way. I'm telling you right now. I hope everybody paid their electricity bill because there's going to be lots of lights on. They're gonna light them up. I'm saying last year what they had 60. It could be that. I'm saying I'm definitely going for a 60 piece.
Yeah. 60 piece, no basically. You're gonna be drunk. You usually take a shot every time.
That's why I didn't drink all week. I knew they were playing Alabama and A&M. I said I ain't gonna drink all week.
Hey, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough. Like I told y'all last week before the game with TSU, and I said, shout out to Harlem Nights. Don't take this ass whooping personally.
You about to be a rich. Oh my God! Yeah, I think they beat them 61-17 last year. Anybody in the comments, y'all remember the score? Let us know, man. But I think it was 61-17. I guess I can get my score, man. I think I'm going somewhere in there. I want to say 61-7. I'm gonna give them 7. I think it's 61-7. 61-7. I think they just don't. I don't think they let up off the gas this week.
Well, this could be a game where, quote unquote, they always said about daddy ball because the other quarterback was with that JSU last year, and Shedeur has been playing well, but you know what I mean? It's been a balanced attack. This is where a game where they could say Wilkinson's going to get maybe 125, 150, and Shedeur might get 350 to 400 yards. And that's the first half.
Damn. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Marcus Adams said 61-15 last year. Okay, 61-15. So I was 2 points off. 2 points off. Marcus Hubbard is saying JSU 45-14. So, I mean, I ask both of y'all, man, what can Alabama A&M do? As Brian says, Jackson State not show up, but they're going to show up. But if either one of y'all want to kind of tackle that, what can they do?
Fight
on this
fight?
Yeah,
beat them up.
Right, yeah.
Beat them up before the game. It ain't nothing they can do.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this.
Serious. Go ahead, Cole.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, and what I said on my stream, man, it's just nobody got nothing for Jackson this year, man. It is what it is. Nobody got nothing for Jackson. We all know this. It's just gonna be business as usual. And they earned the right to be where they are right now. And Jackson is the belle of the ball. They're the class of the SWAC because nobody can touch them. The roster's too good. The coaching's too good. They're battle tested. Travis Hunter is out there. There's nothing they can do. And with the emergence of Savion Wilkerson. So again, and I said this on my channel, like the only deficiency they had was the run game last year. That's more than shored up. Number 2 rushing the SWAC. It's nothing they can do. So everybody's just going to take their lumps, and I hated the fact that it looks like Prairie View and Jackson going to clash in the SWAC championship. We probably going to catch that issue. It just is what it is, man. It is what it is. And so I accept reality where reality exists.
Go
ahead, Brian.
The thing is that with JSU, the first quarter is always an indication how the game's going to go. And obviously, Alabama, they're going to be fired up. You know what I mean? They are a football team at the end of the day. But it's probably really difficult as a player when you know your chances are slim and none, and Slim didn't show up. And the thing is, it's Quincy Casey, I believe, right? The quarterback.
They have Quincy Casey and good Lord, what's the other name?
Your chances are slim and none, and Slim didn't show up. And the thing is,
all right, go. I can't think of his name. I just talked.
And so, anyways, the quarterback that played last, I think it's Quincy Casey. Or was it Jalen Jones?
No. Jones is at Bethune-Cookman.
Okay, so it's Quincy Casey then. So he threw like 2 interceptions against Valley, and you know what? He threw for a lot of yards. He threw for 300 yards, but he also threw to the other team, which those 2 interceptions led up to scores. So he has a tendency to give up the ball. That's on a Valley team that doesn't have a DB situation, and Travis is getting better and better every game. I see Nuggets, so Nuggets probably going to play this week. So they're getting more healthier at JSU. And the thing is, they can run the ball, they can pass the ball. They're tight. They're starting to put the tight ends more involved in the game, which I love.
Mhm.
Dallas Daniels, I don't know if he's playing or not. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see. But if he is playing, great. If not, that's not a big thing because other players have been stepping up and doing a great job. So there's any given Saturday anybody can win. That's the bottom line with football or any sport in that matter. Anybody can win at any given time, but they almost have to play a perfect game. And even if playing a perfect game, they still can't beat Jet. They're still probably losing by 40.
For real.
They got to use a perfect game time to win Saturday, and it's not happening. I'm just sorry, man. We can stop trying to be optimistic. We can be realistic. Jackson State's not losing by no stretch of the match, baby.
I gotta, be devil's advocate, man. I gotta be what's it? Not bipartisan. It's gotta be. I gotta take myself out the equation and just put it out there. And we got CDs in the building. He made a comment that somebody put him in timeout over a Kyrie statement and Yee statement. I don't know what that was about. If that's the case, I apologize. I don't know why somebody felt something an issue about. But CD, if you there, what you got for us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's going on, man? I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to kind of speak my mind as I was trying to do so in the chat. I would just like to say that I feel like your platform is. I'm big on integrity. I'm big on character. Mm-hmm. And I feel like your platform is somewhere that I can come where people with like minds or unlike minds, because all of us are individuals and different in our thinking, can share our opinion without being censored or banned or blocked or put into timeout. Now, I know Kanye is not a positive or a popular character for some reason amongst the same people that look like him because of his individual thoughts. But I feel like Coach Prime is kind of getting the Jesus treatment right now. The very people that he's trying to uplift, trying to help, trying to motivate, trying to inspire, and shine the light on, it seems like the more attention he tries to put on HBCUs and the community and culture around it, the more hate I see from that same community. And maybe I'm from another planet. Maybe I'm not seeing it from perspective everybody else is. But I hear a lot about Deion Sanders and nothing about Brett Favre, and that bothers me.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, it's folks are scared to, I don't want to say scared, but they know that they should be talking about Brett Favre, and somebody kind of explained it to me, and I kind of understand it. They said that the Brett Favre story is boring. And when it comes to the media,
wow.
Now that I've been into this kind of stuff, I understand that why they would call it boring. But that's not the job of the media. The media's job is to report the news, whether it's entertaining or not. And that's platforms like mine and the Hoop Jargon and others, we're trying to change that kind of narrative about how things are going. With stuff needs to be talked about, it needs to be reported in a certain way. And as far as Coach Prime getting the Jesus type of hate, I can understand the comparison, but I think it's more, and I'm gonna allow my guy Hoop, if he's still there, to kind of talk about it, because he's more swac than I am. Who ain't swac type of thing. That's swac, baby. But
we all sweat, man. We all sweat.
And I'll put it like this: from my simple understanding of the thing, it's probably more pushback from the older generation, because they don't understand what's happening. They don't understand the movement, and they just want to kind of keep things in a certain little bubble of, just kind of afraid to move forward. Afraid to move forward, as simple as I can put it, and I'll let Hoop Jargon kind of explain it.
Yeah, I'll make it nice and tight. The issue is relevance, man, because at the end of the day, Coach Prime has been at the vanguard of social media, i.e. YouTube, i.e. Twitter, i.e. Instagram, for the last 2 years in a phenomenal way. So much so that the major networks have finally picked up, and they try and get some of this attention that we've been doing for a minute. I've been covering Coach Prime for 2 years. Will been covering Coach Prime for a year and some change. This is like, it's almost like it's a grassroots society that Coach Prime has been hella relevant. Brett Favre has not. Brett Favre has not been relevant since 2007. So the hate always got to match the love. So with Brett Favre, yeah, he has this indulgence situation with the misappropriation of funds and what have you. But inversely, he's never been relevant since he stopped playing football. So that's why you don't see the equivalency of coverage, because Coach Prime is like the new thing. He flipped Travis Hunter. And I don't care what nobody say, people are still salty about that.
Yeah, for real.
They still salty about that, right? So
hold on, black people or white people are salty?
Both.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Well. There's black people who say that Coach Prime is a grifter. I've seen that, right? Yeah. So if we're being honest, the hate matched the love. So Prime has been getting so much love. So inversely, people who just kind of wait for him to slip up because they have their own personal agendas, you're gonna get the same hate too. So that's why I think that the Brett Favre and Prime thing is false equivalency, because nobody gives a damn about Brett Favre. So that's my take on that.
Okay, so Brett Favre was a little bit darker.
Oh, this would be a major story.
Yeah, but the thing, if Brett Favre was a little bit darker, he would have never got the loans in the first place.
My point exactly.
But the thing is, with Brett Favre, all we hope that it's taken care of on a on a legal standpoint. You know what I mean? I think they're investigating it. Yes, we'd like to probably see it more in the forefront, more energy that they gave to Kanye and the Kyrie and stuff like that. But Brett Favre, I love to hear more about it from my side, from my perspective. But I just want to be dealt in the courts, because he needs to go to jail.
Brian, let me say this real quick.
Exactly.
A lot of black NBA players got jammed up with this thing about them misappropriating their
Big Baby Davis
pension and all that, and how they put it. So it came and went. So we got to keep it. We got to keep the energy congruent, because a lot of brothers was involved in that, and it came and went. That story did not stay like that.
Yeah, Big Baby Davis supposed to be in jail right now. I think he was the ring.
Yes.
Of that. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of brothers supposed to be in jail.
There's black players involved in the scandal.
I'm sorry?
No, there's black players that's involved in, now they may not be relevant, but there's black players that's involved in the Brett Favre scandal. He's just the number one
biggest name, biggest name.
Yeah. So we gotta keep it fair when we talk about these things, because there are things that brothers got jammed up in that just kind of came and went as well. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I want to address the CD American Pastors Travels is apologizing. He said there was a Russian bot in here that commented right before you did, and he was trying to get rid of that and hit yours by mistake. So that was
why the bot's always Russian.
Yeah, because it sounds right. It sounds like it's right, doesn't it? It sounds like it. You want to say American bots or Brazilian bots. The Russian bot sounds good.
But China rules the world in technology, so why not a Chinese bot? Everything else we got is made in China. Why not a bot?
I don't know. It doesn't sound good though. This is a China bot. That doesn't sound good. Me and Mike
we had a China virus.
Yeah, me and Mike said Brett Favre is Mississippi's favorite son. They don't want to crucify him for his transgression. I get it. I get it.
But he's taking out of the mouths of black families in need. So now Mississippi families in need go without food and water? And that's not exciting enough.
No.
Not to major news work.
Wow. But Takeoff didn't make the news. But Takeoff is.
Yeah, but because they know black folks want to see that. Like ESPN it's not a show about sports. It's an entertainment show. In my opinion.
Run by Disney. That's why guys like ladies like Malika Andrews can say what she says, disparaging the black men, and it flies under the radar. So I mean, if we're gonna keep it trill, let's keep it all the way trill about what ESPN does.
Okay. I definitely don't expect ESPN to they're profiting. You know what I'm saying? They're all about the media. You know what I'm saying? Leveraging this. I get that, but I'm talking about the independent SWAC media channels that have popped up out of nowhere in the last 24 months or so. Like, if you go, how you gonna talk SWAC and how you gonna talk Coach Prime in Mississippi and Jackson State and not talk about Brett Favre and the criminal activity?
Because Brett Favre not SWAC at all. He has nothing to do with SWAC.
He's not SWAC, baby.
He's not SWAC at all, baby.
But he's Mississippi enough to be covered and not talked about. That's I feel like SWAC encompasses the community and the culture that incorporates SWAC. True?
That's what you feel. But reality is SWAC is SWAC. Brett Favre has nothing to do with SWAC conference, bro.
But I heard on many different podcasts initially they did talk about the Brett Favre scandal and so on and so forth. And it was run quite extensively more than ESPN or Fox. You know what I mean? Shannon Sharp said one thing and called him this and this and that, which was good. Stephen A. said something, one day, which was good. But then after that, it's not sexy no more. It's not profitable for them no more to talk about it. As far as Malika Andrews, I call her the teleprompter queen because she's the worst. She's brutal. She's horrible.
Awful.
She's awful.
But inversely, nobody tore her up either, though. I mean, she had a little run, and nobody tore Malika Andrews up like that in the SWAC in the verse. I mean, it's just like, dude, if it's SWAC directly, we address it. If not, then we kind of maybe touch on it. We move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's SWAC.
You guys know what race drifters is? Like a race drifter?
Grifter.
Yeah. Like someone who
attaches
kind of
themselves to,
Yes, a race hustler.
Now let's think about how Malika Andrews got her position. Hello.
Yeah.
Who she got it from? And why?
Well,
she got her position based on a racially tense situation. With the NBA finals and the lady who was qualified but wasn't the right color. Bingo. You know what I'm talking about. See, I'm trying to connect some dots here. That's always been her agenda. That's how she got in the game. She hadn't gotten in the game based on her, journalistic skills. She got there based on, what I call the Kamala Harris theory. I'm black and I'm a woman, and that's all the qualifications we need. Look how this turning out.
Now she is attractive. Now her looks got her on as well.
As King Low said right there. Yep.
Her looks got her on too.
Yeah.
But
makeup.
For in my opinion, she's goofy as hell. She's goofy as hell.
Bingo.
Not very good. She's not very good.
Because she said many times. You remember Giannis walked out on her when he asked her a very irrelevant question.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis elected to not even respond to her. So it shows you how players revere her quote unquote journalism. So yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And her sister came up with a story about Steph Curry.
And her sister's up. Yep, absolutely.
I feel like black media should be digging up the dirt on her.
Enough of them. Yeah, enough of them. What is? Okay, talking about Brett Favre. Yeah, man, Brett Favre is not going to go to jail. He's not going to get any time. But man, back to the game, and we'll try to get back to the topic. I know we kind of drifted away, and mostly everybody is picking Jackson State to demolish. And again, me and Mike, he ain't hit us with the Vegas odds yet, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I know.
But it comes the day of the game, though.
Oh, day of the game. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So, and then he said they gonna send. He said Coach Manning gonna get a Tesla pink scooter. Again, what did I say? I said 61-7. Yeah, I think I said 61. I've seen a lot of folks in the chat kind of saying the same thing. But what if Alabama A&M is able to get up 21-7? We have not really seen Jackson State down a lot. So, and I'm just throwing a scenario out. If they can get up there 21-7, 17-7, do y'all see?
You drinking scotch early today?
Do y'all see? Do y'all see Jackson State panicking, man? Do we see them panicking?
17.
7. I'm just being devil's advocate, man. I gotta be, separate myself from my fandom, and just be a reporter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Separate myself.
Well, if they get, from my perspective, if they get 17 points, especially like in the first half, I think Nick Saban will personally walk into the stadium and take all of those players.
Oh my God.
Hey, between the game, you gotta stop buying that good scotch. Stop buying that cheap scotch. Makes you delusional, man.
I ain't had nothing. I haven't had anything, man. I ain't had anything. I'm trying
No, listen. If they're down by, you know what? You have a play. If they're down by 17, that means JSU is playing the worst game of the year. The worst quarter, whatever, half, whatever of the year. If they're down 17-0, because it's not going to be by their defense, that's for sure. The other by picks or fumbles, dropped a punt return, whatever, scoop and score. That's the only way that scenario's happening. They're not scoring 17 points on that offense when we're only average basically 10. And you know what? I think they're going to shut them out tomorrow. You got me fired up. They're shutting them out.
Coach Maynard, man, I ain't kept up with this week's SWAC press conference. I'm pretty sure he might have said something or whatever the case may be, because we know he has a fiery personality. He's charismatic. But this is a game that he probably has circled, right? They got their butt drove last year, but again, Alabama A&M is only averaging 20 points a game. That's second. No, that's third to last in the conference, right? At 10, right? They're 10. They're placed 10, and then they're allowing over 20. I forgot. They're allowing over 20 something points a game. Let's see. They're allowing over 34 points a game. So off the rip right there, Double T was talking about how their defensive line play is just god awful, and it really is. So I expect Wilkerson to kind of have another 200-yard game here coming up. And then somebody said in the comments, Javon Williams says I couldn't even get that out because I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it. I don't. But I don't. So I was just trying to.
Will there be handshakes or stiff arms after the game?
I don't know.
This Alabama now. Remember, this Alabama.
I wouldn't be surprised if they probably upgrade that scooter to like a they gave him a little baby scooter. I probably went with a little moped scooter, something like that. Wouldn't be surprised if they upgrade if they win. Jackson State team has a better chance of losing to Mississippi Valley by 20 points before, bro. He's still going off on 4. And Roy said Jackson State's run is over. Folks are asking them how. Double T says 12 carries for 115 yards for Wilkerson. I think he might go for 20 again.
Hey, all I gotta say is don't take this ass whooping
personally.
All I gotta say. This is gonna be an ass whooping like there was never none before. No. And that's just what it is.
They need to, man. Go ahead, bro.
Listen, I watched the coach's press conference on Monday, and Coach Maynard was like meek and mild. And you know what? He was like, I said, what? I'm saying to myself, what happened to this guy? But you know what it is? It's just like a scenario where you're in school and that bully says to you, at 3 o'clock, I'm kicking your butt. Coach Maynard will have is having a hard week because 3 o'clock is coming.
You know it's coming. That's tough. That's a great comparison. Like that person probably sitting in class all day looking at that clock, like, man, please slow down. Please slow down.
Don't take this ass whooping person.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite movies, man. I might watch that tonight. I ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, you know what? I might have to watch that too. You got me going crazy up in here, man.
Oh my God, man. So, did y'all give y'all predictions? Man, I gave mine, man. So we're gonna probably get ready to shut it down. So I gave mine. I got 61-7, Jackson State.
I got Jackson State a lot, Alabama A&M a little. So, in numeric terms, Jackson State 59, Alabama A&M 10.
I'll be like The guy talking to Sugar Shane. I'm going 63-6.
63-6, 2 field goals.
Damn.
Yeah.
2 field goals, all they get. All they get, man. Poor Alabama A&M. Again, this is not the season they expected. 3-3 in the conference, 3-6 overall. Double quarterback situation. As I said, you got 2 quarterbacks. You don't have a quarterback. Defensive line can't stop anybody. And I said that one of their safeties is number 2 on the team in tackles. So that lets me know that their defensive line is getting blown up, and he's coming down and have to make plays in the box. They don't have very many sacks on this season. So I look for Shedeur to probably have one of those games where he is 24, 28, something like that. So that's about it on my end, man. Y'all get ready to enjoy the show on tomorrow, as y'all can have y'all closing remarks as we get ready to shut it down.
Yeah, and also by A&M, I think one of their top defenders is out for the first half because I think he got kicked out of the game for Valley for targeting.
Yeah. Was that
Number
A&M
4.
didn't play last week? They didn't play last week? They played Valley. Yeah,
they did.
They did.
Yeah.
It was Valley. Yep. So he is out. Hope
My closing remarks is hydrate a lot tonight so you can drink. I'll be drinking a lot tomorrow. Those are my closing remarks.
Oh, that's tough. Hope, man, what you got? You got any closing remarks?
They lost to Valley last week.
Yes.
Valley, the hapless Valley. I mean, if you ever been to Mississippi, you know how. you just know how. Oh man, it's not the greatest place to be in the world.
Valley Field looked good last week, though. It looked good.
Yeah, the field looked good, but if you've been to Valley campus, it seemed like just slavery music and just downtroddenness. I'm sorry, Valley people. I'm just telling you what I know. But with that being said, you lost to Valley last week. You literally went from the worst team in the SWAC and you're gonna play the best.
Yeah.
Times 2. You're gonna get your ass smacked. Like when you first stole something from the store and your mama found out you had candy in your pocket and you got smacked real good. That's gonna be Valley. I'm sorry, Alabama A&M. There's no way, no how, there's no way, no how. The backup quarterback is good for Jackson. The backup running back is good for Jackson. They got 15,000 receivers in Jackson. 15,000 cornerbacks for Jackson. There is no way, no how.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's about as guaranteed as it gets, man. Man. It is what it is. Somebody said in the comments, I think it was Stone, he said, Alabama A&M will have to make a blood sacrifice to win this game.
Exactly.
Blood sacrifice to win this game. That's tough, man.
No way, no how.
Oh, my God. So, I appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate all the folks in the comments, man. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy the weekend. We're going to get ready to get out of here. As I tell y'all always, man, on your best day, be better. For 20 Game Sports, I'm out. Peace.
Peace.